The Local is a digital publisher, and we produce English language news for an audience that is a mixture of basically people who know English better than the local language in the countries we cover. The Local's actually been doing sponsored content since way back in 2010. Already then we had clients who were interested in trying to reach our readers in a bit more of an intimate way. And in 2014 we launched the Client Studio. I was the editor of the Swedish news site at that point, so I was pulled over to help launch this. And so since then it's grown quite a bit. We structured the Client Studio really to mirror the newsroom. So we built sort of a newsroom for our clients, basically. But I should point out that we don't have any of our news journalists working on the commercial content. We have a separate team of journalists for that. And really most of the output that we do are articles, which is what we do normally. But we do a lot of other things for our clients, including events and surveys and videos and things like that. But I mean, really, like AllNative, what we're trying to do is help bring our clients closer to our readers. We have a kind of different audience in that we sit in Stockholm. We have editorial desks at different countries around Europe, but we really have readers all around the world because we're producing content in English, and I think that sets us a little bit apart. We're doing news and information that's locally relevant, but for a global audience. And that, I think the key for us to make that work is that we really know our audience. And we've been doing this for a long time. And so we know what they're interested in, we know what their challenges are, and when we speak to our clients, we can help weave them into some of the conversations and challenges that our readers are already actively seeking information on. So I think, the key is relevancy, and then really not only understanding the audience, but understanding where we can get messages from our clients to overlap with what our readers want to read about. One of our challenges has been defining our audience in a way that our clients can understand. We know who we speak to, we know that we matter, our readerships are growing, we have a lot of loyalty, but because it is sort of cutting across a lot of traditional segmentation, wait, so you're sitting in Stockholm, you're doing news about Sweden, but you have readers in Germany, how does this all work together? And so I think for us, we've been trying to package our readers in a way that helps our clients understand who we actually reach. And we've kind of settled on a way of describing our readers really as modern pioneers. These are people who are curious, they're educated, they're mobile, and they sort of live their lives across borders and in multiple contexts, and they really want to know in depth what's going on in the country that I'm either living in, working in, going to be visiting, and so having that understanding allows us to find clients that align with those brand values and have them, I think, better understand how they can speak to this audience. I think native advertising has come a really long way in a very short time, but there's still a long way to go. And seeing what people in the industry are saying, it's clear that data is kind of the watchword, and I feel that we at the Local do a very good job with the data that we have, but I'm always thinking what more is out there, what other types of data points should we be collecting, both to tell us how we can improve our content and how we can help deliver more insights to our brands. And I think we sit and we talk about storytelling in native advertising, and that's really, when you've put together a good story and readers are engaging, it feels really good. We do that with words. But what I really want to work on is trying to find the story in the data, because I think it's learning how to tell stories with all the data that we create and that is created on digital platforms that I think is going to help really raise the bar, as I said, both for how content is produced, distributed, and the kind of feedback and relationship that we can have with our advertisers. Data is fascinating because, packaged and analyzed in the right way, what you can learn from the data is where, I think, what readers respond to, what they don't respond to. It gives you thoughts about where interesting angles for new stories might be that you wouldn't have thought of otherwise. We use a lot of data from our editorial side to keep track of what our audience is interested in. So it's not only looking at data for how our campaigns perform, but it's also looking at our channel overall and seeing what is moving our readers, where are their interests, where do they lie, and what kind of inspiring stories and new angles and ideas and pitches can we come to our clients with based on what we know our readers are already interested in. So that's, I think, it is using the data to connect readers and the advertisers in a way, and we become that sort of that bridge. Some of the challenges that I spend the most time reflecting on are how we can structure our work to meet I guess the different levels of engagement and understanding about native advertising and content marketing from our clients. We have some clients who are very savvy, very hands-on. We have other clients and prospects who are a little unsure about where to go, and so that puts different demands on our team in terms of how much guidance and education that we need to offer them. And so I think part of it has to do with just our own work processes, but also knowing how we can be advisors and helping hands and really help take those clients who are still a little bit further down on that path, move them forward, because we believe so strongly in the power of native advertising and great content. And it pains me when I see opportunities that are lost simply because there's a hesitancy or a sort of an uncertainty about what you can accomplish with good native advertising.